This year I ain't playing, I'm on a mission. I don't see no competition. Waiting my turn and I play my position. Sat in the room, I ain't talk, I just listen.
What's up, everybody? Dave here, JDH Reptiles. Today's feeding day. It's Thursday. Here in this room, I have all of the ball pythons. So I did have some downstairs, some of the ones that are for sale, but I've gotten to the point where I only have, I think, 12 animals left for sale. So I moved them up here into my 1039 rack. And the only thing left downstairs are the Western hognoses that we have for sale and my false water cobra. So what I do, I feed frozen thawed. I do produce all my own rodents. We do work with ASFs. Don't worry if you're getting an animal from me. The animal will take rats as well. I know ASFs have a bad rep as far as with ball pythons and them getting stuck on only ASFs. It's just not true. I have produced and fed both ASFs and Norway rats to this collection. And at any time I could offer any of them a Norway rat and they'll take it. Live or frozen thawed. When I moved to the new house, we had to move the rodent collection here, so we did euthanize about 80% of the rodents. And doing that, it left me with a massive amount of rodents in my freezer. So at that time, I decided to switch everybody over to frozen thawed, and everybody eats frozen thawed now. I get the occasional animal that will want a live rodent, and when that happens, I'll usually go 2 to 3 weeks offering them frozen thawed, and if they don't take by the 3rd or 4th week, I'll throw a live rodent in there, and then they go back on food. But other than that, my method, I've made a video about how I thaw my rodents. I know everybody does it different. I do it a very simple way, and that is I use a 5-gallon bucket. So I got my 5-gallon bucket here. I put it down inside of my my laundry sink downstairs. I fill it about halfway with very hot tap water. I throw my rodents in there. In about 15 minutes, I go down, I drain the bucket. I fill it with hot water again. And then I bring it straight up here into the rodent or into the snake room and start feeding. These rodents are completely thawed. They are wet, and I feed them wet, and my collection takes them just fine. I make it as easy on myself and as fast on myself, because usually it takes 2 to 3 trips of doing this. I don't fill the bucket too full. I usually do about 50 rodents at a time, and I think we're sitting on just over 100 snakes. So actually, after counting, it looks like I'm at 84 ball pythons in this room. So I have actually 81, and I have 3 spotted pythons. So it takes me usually about 2 buckets, roughly, of doing this, and I get everybody fed. I typically spend about an hour or so in feeding day. Not that long. But in the process, while things are thawing, I can watch a YouTube video, I can clean the house, I can do whatever I want to do. Now, I will say another thing I do that I know some people don't do, but it works well for me, is I feed my collection dirty. And what I mean by that is all these tubs, every day I use liners. So I use the Reptisorb liners on these tubs. And every day I come in this room, I fill waters, I change liners, etc. when necessary. But like today's Thursday, usually Tuesday evening or Wednesday, if I notice any defecation, any urination, as long as a tub is not flooded with urine, sometimes big girls will do that, as long as it's not inhabitable, I'll leave it until I feed. And I find that's because it works well because the animals have a little more comfort with their own smells. And I think if you go in there and you clean everything up and then try and feed them, it can just disrupt their comfort level, and you can have more animals that don't don't eat. So that's what I've done for years, is I'll feed. If it's a dirty tub, I feed them anyways. And then when they're done, I'll clean them. And yes, I do pick up my animals after they eat, and I will clean their tub and whatnot. I don't have any problems with regurgitation or anything. Again, you need to do what works for you, but I'm telling you what works for me. So with ASFs, typically every other week, I clean all my ASFs, and I will euthanize rodents at that time as well. And I usually feed to my breeders the largest stuff that I will euthanize. So whether it be large ASFs, extra large ASFs, medium, smalls, this collection gets everything. Now, an extra large ASF is more like, really, an extra large ASF is like a small rodent, a small rat, I should say. They're about 80 grams, roughly. So they eat a lot less as far as the size of the rodent compared to what you would feed in a Norway rat. So a lot of these animals get a lot smaller looking meals, but they do just fine. They eat well, they grow well. I get great clutches out of them. I have no issues at all. So I'm going to start feeding. I'm not really going to dig into the tubs or whatnot. Maybe I will, but you'll see me feed here and there. I'm going to kind of do like a speed through on this. I always start with my females first, especially because this is breeding season. I want my females to make sure they get their largest meals, get what they need. So this entire rack is females. And from here, like 6 rows down, these 6 here are females. And then everything else is males. And then here I have males and females, but they're obviously not breeding. So let's go ahead and get into this. So I just grab a rodent. I open up the tub. And I toss it in there. And yes, I do use these tongs. Boom. I got these from Redline Shipping, Redline Science. You can get them as well right off their website. So, and again, I do not dry off the rodent. I feed it to them wet. It's hot. They take. I don't necessarily like that this is up as high as it is. I don't like the surprise of potentially getting bitten in the face. Thankfully, I never have, but I have had some close calls. So, now this one hasn't eaten in 2 weeks. This female here, she is not breeding this year. So I'm going to toss that in there. And a reminder for me, I take their card and I put it up and down. And that lets me know that I have a rodent in there, that they did not take it from me directly. So another one here. Yep, she's usually right here. She also hasn't eaten in a couple weeks. So these two might get a live one. If they don't take today, I'll probably go get a live rodent and offer it to them. But as you can see, these are small. These are small ASFs. That's the size. They are small ASFs. And that's all they're getting. I don't overfeed. I don't feed massive amounts of food. You know, it's just unnecessary. If you're feeding a quality rodent, you don't have to do that. As you see, they all eat very well, for the most part. This one has been off food a couple weeks. We'll see if she takes. And I don't spend forever playing the whole dangle game and all that. They take or they don't. Now this girl's been off food for 3 weeks. I do expect her to ovulate here very soon. So I know she's not going to take food today. But I think that if you offer a rodent, even when they're off food, they will realize that there is a supply available. So they will continue to grow follicles and do well. And I think she's going to ovulate actually probably any day. So I will write myself a note that she missed again today. Okay, there's that. So this one here that I know is about to ovulate, I will write down again that she missed a meal. So I think today's the 17th. No food. That one didn't take from me, so I'll do that. This one's ready for food. Look at that. That's the way it should work. It really shouldn't be that hard to get them to eat. Should be able just to put the rodent in there and they take it. If they want to eat, they'll take it. And if they don't want to eat, they won't. So I'm just going to skip ahead here for a minute. I ended up offering to every animal in this rack. The majority of them took. There's a couple that did not. A lot of these girls are very deep into the breeding season, within 18 to 30 millimeters of follicle growth. And when we get that far in, they do tend to go off feed. So it's not crucial that they feed every week. This girl, I have yet to get to eat a frozen thawed. She's a Wookiee yellow belly, and she is definitely stuck on live. So I'll let her go 3 weeks or more, and then I'll offer her a live rodent. And today will be one of those days where she'll get a live rodent. If she doesn't take it here, she's smelling it. And I'll leave it there for a little bit. Come back to it. All right, and again, jumping ahead, I offered to the majority of this rack, and then after this, I will turn around and we'll feed the animals in the 1039, and we'll go back and forth and check on all the animals that I left, or the rodents that I left with the animals, and see whether or not they've eaten. So let's go ahead and jump back into this. All right, and that is it. All right, and that's it for these 2 racks. Got a handful of rodents still in here. I only have 3. So I'm going to start feeding this group here. And then I'll go back through and I'll check all those tubs. So these ones are up high. Again, I really don't like them. But, oh, there he is. As you can see, that's a perfect example of why. I just don't know where they're at. I can pull them down, but sometimes I just toss them up like that and they take them right away. And then sometimes they don't take them right away because I'm nowhere near them. And then I have to pull them down. All right, so the top 3 are done. And I'm out of rodents, so now I need to go back through here and see who has eaten and who isn't. And yes, this is all the time I give them. If they haven't eaten in 10 minutes, I don't wait. These are all animals that are good eaters typically. So, and then I just dunk them back in the water to heat them up. And then I offer them. All right, so then from here, we're gonna go back to the tubs where the snakes did not take the rodents off of my tongs. If they did not eat, I will retrieve the rodent. I'll dunk it in the bucket of water to warm it back up, and I'll offer it to the next one in line. So let's jump into it. Oh, the yellow belly Wookiee is taking the frozen thawed. Oh my gosh. She must have had enough weeks without eating where she's like, fuck it, I'll take it. Oh, that's so awesome. Now that I've disturbed her, I'm hoping she won't let go of it. So we'll see. I'll get back to her in a minute. Wow. That's awesome. That's good. Because I'll be honest with you, I'm almost positive that is her first frozen thawed meal. Almost positive it is. And that's awesome. That's good. I would love to get her on frozen thawed. And I'd like to get her eating consistently because I am trying to pair her with our Coral Glow Lesser Sunset. And in the last 2 months, she hasn't really had much follicle growth. Actually, she's had none. So she stayed stagnant. So I was trying to hopefully get a clutch out of her sometime this year. And we really need them to get eating in order to do that. And if she's not a consistent eater, we can either get a really small clutch or no clutch. So that's awesome. That's awesome. I like that. I can't believe it. She actually took a frozen thawed. Now, I'll let you guys know, because I'm not sure I brought it up in this one or not. She actually took 3 frozen thawed small ASFs for me today. So here in a little bit, you'll see that I go and offer her another one. She did not take it from me, but I left it and she did eat it, and then one more later. All right. So that is everybody that I've offered and removed what wasn't eaten. Let me check on the Wookiee Yellow Belly again. All right, she is done with meal. I'm going to offer this bigger one just in case she'll take a double. Because like I said, she hasn't been eating. She did eat the last one. So I'm just going to leave that with her for about 10 minutes. I'll come back and check. So I need 3, 6, 9 more frozen animals. I need to thaw 9 more frozen rodents. And I'm going to go ahead and do that. Finish up feeding. I'm going to come up here with a handful of live ASFs to feed the rest of the collection that did not eat. But that's going to do it for today. Just want to put this video together. It says 41 minutes. So I have been up here 41 minutes feeding. So again, I will do this another round. It'll take about another half hour roughly to get up here and finish this out. This video is not going to be 41 minutes. You're probably going to see me doing a lot of talking, but I'm going to speed it up and shrink this video down to hopefully under 20 minutes. But yeah, guys, appreciate it. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Next week, I will have another genetic spotlight, so make sure you come back for that. Stay tuned. That's going to be a good one. Show off some really nice animals. I'm going to be on vacation next week, so I'll post up that video. I might make some posts on YouTube. You can definitely find me on social media. I'll make some posts on social media. But I am heading to Arkansas for the whole trip. Probably going to be about 5 days. But we're going down to the Crater of Diamonds. We're going to spend a couple days there. We are driving to and from. So Michigan to Arkansas and then back. We're going to stop in between both 1 day down and 1 day back. So I think we're stopping in Memphis, Tennessee the first night. And then on the way back, I think we're going to stop somewhere around Bowling Green, Kentucky. Somewhere in that area. We might actually go to Mammoth Cave while we're over there too. So you guys take care. I appreciate it. Again, check back next week for the other video. It will be posted. I've already got it on my YouTube channel. I just finished it today. I've got it loaded. I will actually drop it, I think probably Tuesday, something like that. And then I'll catch you after that. So thanks again. Hit one of the boxes that are popping up here. Like, subscribe if you haven't already. If you got any questions, go ahead and leave it down below. I'll get to it as soon as I can. But you guys are great. Thanks for sticking through this. I appreciate your support. We'll see you on the next one.